Okay, so let's start with the addition and amendment for CA Inter IDT. Okay, if you all are having your examinations in Jan25 attempt, so whatever, there are very little amendment, but whatever are the amendments I am going to cover in this particular video. Yes, and let's start with it. There will be few additions which they have added in the ICAI material, and there will be few amendments, okay, that I'm going to show you. The PDF of these notes is already provided on my website in the free notes section. You can go to ArpitaTulsyan.com. There in the free notes section, in the free resources section, you can download the PDF. Okay, we are going to do it chapter wise, so it will be very simple, and you can easily do the changes. The small changes you can do it in the textbook itself, and whatever are the big amendments, for that you already have the PDF notes with you. Yes. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so in the first chapter, that is GST in India and introduction, there are two things which I would like to add here. Okay, one is regarding the GST compensation cess. If you want, I can just show it to you in the textbook also, so that you will be able to relate to the same. In your textbook, you will be having a paragraph called as GST compensation cess. What you can do is you can just find it out in your textbook. If you're not able to find out, just pause the video and then you can just search for it. Can you see this paragraph called as GST compensation cess, which they had levied when we were coming from the old law to the new law, just to compensate the states, right? Just to compensate the states, they had come up with this cess called as GST compensation cess on some luxury items and demerit items, if you can recollect. So initially it was levied for a period of 5 years, that is up to 30th June 2022 it was made applicable, but then later they extended it and now it is applicable till when? Now it is applicable till 31st March 2026. Okay, can be a MCQ type of a question, that GST compensation cess is now applicable till 31st March 2026. This is one thing that we have to remember here. Okay, this was one of the addition which I want to make here in the textbook. Another addition, okay, another addition which is there here is in the content of GST council. Okay, in your textbook you can come to the GST council answer near the end, almost near the end of the chapter, that is article number 279A, as you can remember, if you can remember. Yes, in GST council was found, finance minister was the chairman, then they had certain functions, very important functions were discharged by the GST council, and all those things happen. Okay, in that one of the thing which I would like to add here is this point. Yes, okay, I'll show it to you in your amendment notes, so that addition notes, so that you can make a note of it later. Okay, now see, GST council was a council which had many members within it. It was chaired by the finance minister, then it had many people representing from the states, many people from here and there, etc. And then they were giving the recommendations, right? Their functions included to give the recommendations that what should be the rates of GST, on which items exemption should be there, which states will be categorized as special category states, and all those things we had studied in GST council. Okay, now see what are they telling us here. Very general, very basic. No act or proceedings of the GST council shall be invalid. Means any work done by the GST council will not be invalid. Okay, not be invalid means everything done by the GST council is going to be valid. Okay, now when, in which circumstances any work done by the GST council will be considered as valid? By reason of any vacancy or any defect in the constitution of the council. Okay, now let's say we already know that in the constitution of GST council, can you see this on the board? Yes, in the constitution of the GST council there are certain members. Let's say finance minister is there, union minister of the state in charge of revenue or finance is there, etc. Let's say there is any vacancy in their place. Okay, vacancy means their position has got vacant. That can be because of resignation, that can be because of death, or that can be because of any other reason. One of the places in the GST council is vacant. Okay, jagah khali ho gayi, the place is empty now. So can the other members, by the time we fill that vacancy, Okay, by the time we fill that vacancy, by the time we appoint a new person, can others still continue to act? So the answer is yes. So the work done by others, okay, the work done by others will still be considered as valid. Are you clear with this? Okay, so just because there is a vacancy in the GST council, or just because there was some mistake, or just because there was some defect in appointment, okay, in appointment of any members in the GST council, just because there is a vacancy, or just because there is a mistake that happened at the time of appointment of any member in the GST council, that does not mean that work done by the GST council will become invalid. No, no, the other people can still continue to do the work. Okay, similarly, if there is any defect, okay, if there is any defect in appointment of a person as a member of the council, while appointing, that person was required to have a certain qualification, but there was a mistake. Okay, at the time of his appointment, we appointed a wrong person. So that does not mean the work done by GST council is invalid. No, you will have to rectify the defect. Okay, but the work done by the GST council will be considered as valid. Okay, and similarly, any procedural irregularity means if there is any irregularity, let's say GST council was supposed to call a meeting, okay, at so many intervals, after so many months they were required to compulsorily call a meeting, but there was certain sort of delay. Okay, some procedural mistake happened here. That does not affect the merits of the case, means that does not affect any decisions which is taken by the GST council. Okay, so what are they trying to tell us here is these small things are not going to affect any work done by the GST council. Are you clear with this? Yes, so these two additions, these are not amendments actually, but these are the two additions which have been put in the ICAI material. So we have also included here. Just take a note of it. Okay, first one was compensation cess. Now it is extended till 31st March 2026. And second one is any work done by the GST council will not be considered as invalid just because of three reasons. Just because there is any vacancy or defect in the formation of the council, or just because there is any defect in appointment of any member, or just because of any procedural irregularity. Okay, because of these three things, if you want, I'll highlight it again. Any vacancy or defect in constitution of the council, any defect in appointment of any person, or any because of any procedural irregularity, the work done by other members of the GST council will still be considered as valid. Are you clear till here? Yes, so these are the two additions. Just make these two additions in your book. Yes? Okay. Okay, so let's start with the amendment that we have to do for supply under GST chapter. Okay, very simple. One circular first. Let's take up this circular which is newly added. This is circular number 195/07/2023 dated 17 July 2023, read with this new circular, that is 216/10/2024 GST dated 26 June 2024. Okay, it is a very simple circular, a very general circular, not specifically applicable to a particular section, but overall in general applicable to the supply chapter. Okay, now what we had studied under supply under GST chapter was if a particular transaction is considered as a supply. Okay, if a transaction is considered as a supply, then GST will be applicable. No supply, no GST. That was the logic that we had considered. Yaad aa raha hai aisa kuch? Yes, are you able to recollect that? Okay, we had done section number 7, full one big section number 7 we had done, and at the end we had gone to section number 8, that is composite and mixed supplies, etc. Are you clear till here? Yes, can we start with the circular now? Now this is a very simple clarification and a very logical clarification also, that sometimes it happens, you must have seen, sometimes it happens that when we purchase a particular product, okay, when we purchase, let's say I purchase this particular AC remote, and from whoever I am purchasing this AC remote, they will give me a warranty, right? They will give me a warranty. In that warranty, they will tell me that if something happens to this particular remote, let's say within a time period of 1 year, then we will do free replacement, we will do free repairs, etc. Right? So in some cases, the customers get it done totally for free. Okay. If some defect is covered in the warranty, then I will get everything done for free. Sometimes it happens that they say that this part is free, this part you will have to pay, etc. So in that case, is GST applicable or is GST not applicable? That is the clarification above. Okay. Now just see the heading, you will come to know clarification on liability to pay GST in respect of warranty replacement of parts and repair services during warranty period. See, normally if our product is not covered under warranty, then we will have to pay for that particular repair. And if we are paying for that repair, then anyway GST will be applicable. But what if it is a free replacement, or what if it is a partial free replacement, etc.? Then what will be the position of GST in such a case? That we need to find out. Yes. Okay, so now you're starting with the first issue. Let's try. Okay, let's try this first issue. There are cases where the original manufacturer offers warranty for the goods supplied by him to the customer. Okay, manufacturer. Let's say this is a remote which is belonging to, let's say for example, Samsung company. Okay, so Samsung is giving free warranty to its customers and provides replacement of parts and repair services during the warranty period without charging any consideration. I hope you understand the relevance of that. Yes, I hope you understand the relevance of that. Without charging any consideration means free. Yes. Now, whether GST would be payable on such replacement of parts or supply of repair services without any consideration from the customer as a part of warranty. So now here, can I say, since we are not paying anything to the original manufacturer, then in that case, is there any consideration involved? No, there is no consideration involved at all. Right? If there is no consideration involved, then what will be the scenario? Then they are telling that there will be no GST, no further GST is chargeable, because if there is no consideration, then on what amount will we charge the GST? However, if any additional consideration, if they say, no, you will have to pay 100 rupees extra as service charge, then on that 100 GST will be applicable. Otherwise, GST is totally not applicable, because here there is no consideration that is in. I hope I am clear with this, everyone. Yes. Okay. Then going on to the next one. Okay, what you can do here is you can simply write the small conclusion. See, as of now, I have taken here the entire clarification. Okay, entire circular that was put, I have taken it here. But for your studies reference purpose, you can just simplify it in short and write besides it, so that when you revise, it will become very, very simple. Yes. Chalo then, let's go on to the next one. Whether GST would be payable on replacement of parts or repair services provided by a distributor without any consideration from the customer. Now see, there is a new person coming in between, that is the distributor. Now in the above case, who was giving me the warranty? Warranty was given to me by the manufacturer, by the main company. Now here, who is providing me the replacement or repair services? That is provided to me by the distributor. Okay, now let's say if I want to purchase an AC, okay, along with AC remote, obviously, I can go to Chroma shop. So Chroma is not the manufacturer of that Samsung AC. Chroma is going to be the distributor. So here the distributor is giving the service to whom? Distributor is giving the service to the customer. Right? So again, what will be your conclusion? If distributor is giving this free warranty without any consideration, okay, it is giving this free warranty to the customer, then definitely there is going to be no GST. Same logic, right? But if they are charging any additional consideration, then in that case GST will be applicable on such supply. Did you understand the difference between the first one and the second one? Yes, in the first one, original equipment manufacturer gave me the main manufacturer gave me the warranty. In the second one, the warranty was given to me by the distributor. Are you clear with this? Yes. Okay. Then after that, again, the third one is very, very simple. Let's try to understand this one. In the above scenario, where the distributor provides replacement of parts to the customer as a part of warranty on behalf of the manufacturer, whether any supply is involved between distributor to manufacturer. See, can I say manufacturer would have sold it to the distributor? Yes, and then the distributor finally sold it to the customer. Okay, now here, who gave the warranty to whom? Distributor gave the warranty to the customer. Okay, distributor did the free replacement, free repairs for the customer. But the distributor is doing this on whose behalf? The distributor is doing this on behalf of the manufacturer, right? So now in this case, now they are telling that there can be multiple circumstances there. Now they are telling, if the distributor replaces the part to the customer under warranty, either using his own stock, let's say there is some part which is, which has become default, etc. If he is doing it from his own stock, means the distributor is doing it from his own stock, or the distributor is purchasing that spare part from a third party and charges the consideration from the manufacturer, means distributor is providing to the customer for free, but he is charging money from whom? He is charging money from the manufacturer, because he was doing this work on whose behalf? He was doing this work on behalf of the manufacturer. So who is going to pay the amount to whom? Manufacturer is going to pay that amount to the distributor, because distributor has done that kharcha, distributor has done that expenses. Yes, so in this case, because there is some consideration, now we are talking about these people, we are talking about manufacturer to distributor. Yes, so now in this case, can we say there is consideration involved? If there is consideration involved, then there will be definitely GST applicable on the same. Understanding this? Okay. Similarly, next they are telling is, there may be cases where the distributor raises a requisition to the manufacturer. Distributor raises a request with the manufacturer for the parts to be replaced by him, and then the manufacturer provides the said parts to the distributor for replacement. Okay, now, suppose, okay, now here, in the first case, what was happening? Distributor was using his own spare parts and doing the repair, or he was purchasing from some third party and getting it reimbursed from whom? He was getting it reimbursed from the manufacturer. In the second case, they are telling that manufacturer is providing those spare parts to the distributor, and if that is provided for free, okay, if that is provided without separately charging any consideration, means manufacturer is giving the spare parts to the distributor for free and distributor is giving it to the customer for free. Any consideration involved or no consideration involved? No consideration. Can we say here also there is no consideration involved? If there is no consideration involved, then there will be no GST applicable. Are you understanding this? Okay, simple. Okay. Then after that, similarly, another circumstance. Now, there may be cases where the distributor replaces, okay, where the distributor replaces the part to the customer under warranty out of the supply already received by him from the manufacturer. Now, manufacturer had already given, let's say manufacturer had already given some spare parts to the distributor already. He had already supplied, means the manufacturer had already given it to the distributor for some consideration earlier itself, in advance. In advance, the manufacturer gave it to the distributor some spare parts, that you please keep these spare parts with you, and whenever a customer comes to you under warranty, you can do the replacement, etc. Means in that case, can we say this supply was already recorded. Manufacturer to distributor, this supply was already recorded, right? Yes. So now in this case, suppose if the sale bill was already made, then in that case, and if the distributor had already paid for the same, then already GST was applicable on the same. Are you clear with this? Then already GST was applicable at the time of supply that was done by the manufacturer to the distributor. Yes. Okay. And there can be another case where, let's say manufacturer has given some extra parts. Okay, let's say manufacturer has given some extra remotes to the distributor for selling, but now a customer comes into picture and he says that I want replacement. So can we say the part is already kept with the distributor? Yes, the part is already kept with the distributor. Now distributor is going to do the replacement for the customer. How will the distributor, from where will the distributor do the replacement for the customer? Can we say from the new stock of remote which we had already received from the manufacturer? So can we say here the manufacturer will have to issue a credit note? Okay, manufacturer will have to issue a credit note because one of the new remote which it had given to the distributor for selling it, one of the remote which it had given to the distributor for selling it, that the distributor had to give it to the customer for free, right? So distributor is not going to pay any amount for the same, na? Because distributor also did not get any money from the customer. From customer to distributor, the consideration was zero. So how can the distributor pay it to the manufacturer? So manufacturer will reverse that sale transaction. One new remote sale transaction will be reversed by issuing the credit note. That is given here because we are doing replacement from the new stock. Yes. Okay. And yes, if whenever there is a credit note provision applicable at that time, okay, if you have already studied in the tax invoice chapter, well and good. If you're going to do it ahead, you will come to know whenever we are issuing any debit note or whenever we are issuing any credit note, at that time, the tax liability also gets adjusted, right? Okay. Yes. And now let's go to the last circumstance. The last circumstances, there may be cases where the distributor replaces the goods or its parts to the customer under warranty by using his stock and then raises a request with the manufacturer for the goods. Again, now here, first the distributor is providing the service to whom? First, the distributor is providing the service to the customer. Okay, he is using his own stock and he is providing the service to the customer. This part is done. Okay, here if there is a GST charged, if there is a consideration charge, then GST will be applicable. If no consideration, then no GST. Then the distributor takes that part. Then the distributor takes that part from the manufacturer, and if manufacturer is giving it to the distributor for free, if he is giving it for free, then again there will be no GST paid. Okay, so basically, see, if there is any consideration, the ultimate conclusion is going to remain the same. If there is no consideration involved, then there will be no GST applicable. But if there is a consideration involved, then there will be GST applicable. Yes. Then last two cases. Now, if the distributor provides repair service in addition to replacement, okay, repair service in addition to replacement to the customer without any consideration as a part of warranty on behalf of the manufacturer, but charges the manufacturer for such repair services. Okay, now see, if replacement of parts is done, then above point we have already seen. From where will we get the spare parts, etc., that we have already seen here. This third point was mainly talking about replacement only. Now they are asking, what if along with replacement there is repair services also done? See, for replacement we have already studied. Okay, now what if distributor is providing the repair to the customer? Distributor is providing the repair to the customer for free. Okay, but he is then charging the money. See, ultimately, who would have incurred the expense? The distributor would have incurred the expense. He gave it to the customer for free because it was under warranty. But now he is taking the reimbursement from whom? He is taking the reimbursement from the manufacturer. So, if there is a consideration involved between manufacturer to distributor, then on this transaction, GST will also be applicable because there is a consideration involved. Okay, here we are mainly talking about repair. Okay, here we are mainly talking about repair. Then after that, going to the next one. See, what is the next one? Sometimes companies provide offers of extended warranty. You must have seen, na, while purchasing, they tell you, see, 1 year warranty is included. You can go with extra additional 2-year warranty and all those things at the time of original supply or just before the expiry of the warranty period, whether GST would be payable in both of these cases. Okay, now see what are they telling. Suppose if we have like while purchasing the AC, they had given me normally you will get 1 year warranty, and at that time only they are giving me some offer in which they are giving me plus 2 years warranty, that is extended warranty of plus 2 years. Then in that case, this extended warranty, okay, try to understand, this extended warranty will become part of the value because of the composite supply, section number 8. Remember, in composite supply, if I am purchasing AC plus I am taking extended warranty, then my principal supply is going to be AC, right? And along with that, if I am paying something for the, see, obviously you will have to pay something for the extended warranty. Let's say I'm purchasing AC of 40,000 and I'm purchasing extended warranty of 5,000. Then what will be the rate of GST applicable? On total 45,000, the rate of principal supply, the rate of AC will be applicable on the same. Because why have I taken extended warranty? Because AC was my main supply. Yes, that is given here. Yes, acha. But what if extended warranty is given to me by someone else? It was not given to me by the AC supplier, it was given to me by a third party. If it is given by two different people, then I would have paid 40,000 to someone and I would have paid 5,000 to someone else. Then respective rates of GST will be applicable. Yes, acha. Next case is I am taking extended warranty after my original warranty gets over. Let's say my original warranty was of 1 year, and once this 1 year got over, 1 year khatam hone ke baad, now I am planning to take an extended warranty. Then this will be considered as a separate supply. Okay, this will be considered as what? This will be considered as a separate supply. This cannot be considered as a composite supply. Only when I was taking it with the main supply, then you can call it as a composite supply. Now this is a separate supply. So AC will be different and extended warranty will be considered as a supply of service, and rate of GST on that will be different. Normal, understandable, this much everyone manageable till here? Yes? Okay. Done, done. So this was basically your new circular that was inserted under your supply under GST chapter, which was mainly pertaining to warranty, repairs and replacements which are done under warranty. Manageable? Okay. Okay, so let's take up the next amendment. Next, I have come to the chapter that is place of supply chapter amendment. Yes, in this place of supply chapter, basic first section, that was section number 10, where we were discussing about place of supply in case of goods, and that too domestic transactions, not import export transactions. In that section number 10(1)(ca). Okay, 10(1)(ca) already was a new section where we had studied that if an unregistered person goes to another state. Okay, let's say a person from Maharashtra goes to a shop in Croma. I am an unregistered person. I am from Maharashtra. I go to Croma shop, let's say in Chennai, and I purchase something from there. Then what will be the place of supply? Right? What will be the place of supply? My actual place is Maharashtra, but I am doing the purchases in the state of Chennai. So what will that Croma store put in the invoice? Will it charge CGST, SGST, or will it charge IGST, etc.? That is the question. So the solution there was given under section number 10(1)(ca), that if my location, if that unregistered person's address is mentioned in the invoice, then that location will be considered as place of supply. And if my Maharashtra address is not recorded in the invoice, then the location of the supplier will become the place of supply. This we had studied. Now to that section itself, okay, to that section number 10(1)(ca) itself, they have added one more circular which was made applicable from June 2024, which I have put here in the amendment notes also. Don't worry, same thing. Okay, same thing is put here in the amendment notes also. Now here they are telling that let's say any e-commerce platform. Okay, let's say we are buying something from Amazon. Okay, let's say you people like you and me, etc., we are buying something from Amazon. Okay, Amazon is doing the supply. Amazon is, let's say, doing the supply to any unregistered person. Okay, to any small kid or like people like you and me, unregistered person. Okay, and there in you must have seen in Amazon there are two options. One is something called as billing address. Okay, that is generally permanent in my profile. And another one is something called as shipping address. Have you noticed something like this? Billing address and shipping address, etc. Have you noticed something like this? Yes. Now, can there be a possibility? Can there be a possibility that billing address and shipping address, okay, billing address and shipping address are different? Can there be a possibility? Okay, when I created my profile, I was settled in Mumbai, but now I want to get some goods in, let's say, Rajasthan. So I'm putting the shipping address as Rajasthan, and Amazon does the delivery. Amazon does the delivery. So what will be the place of supply? That is the question here. What will be the place of supply? So what are they telling us here is, see, as per section 10.1 CA, what did we just now study? As per section number 10.1 CA, what did we study? Whatever address is recorded in the invoice. Okay, whatever address is recorded in the invoice, that address will be considered. But now, if you have seen Amazon's invoice, they write both the address. They write billing address also, and they write the delivery address or shipping address also. So now, and in that billing address and shipping address, if the states are different, okay, if the states are different, then in that case, what will be the place of supply? So see, what are they telling? Where the billing address and delivery address are different, the supplier may record the delivery address as the address of the recipient. So if there is a difference between billing address and if there is a difference between shipping address is nothing but your delivery address, then which address will be considered as the main one? The shipping address, the shipping where the goods are actually getting shipped, that place will be considered as the place of supply. I hope I'm very, very clear with this, everyone. Yes. Okay. So what we studied in 10.1 CA is the address which is recorded in the invoice. I've written here. The address which is recorded in the invoice is relevant. But what if billing address as well as delivery address both are recorded? Then delivery address will be considered as the main address for the purpose of place of supply. I hope I'm very, very clear till here, everyone. Yes. Okay. Done, 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 done. Okay, so let's go to the next circular, next clarification, which belongs to the time of supply chapter, which has been newly added. So in time of supply, this circular which they have added, this pertains to services. Okay, this pertains to services. I will just show it to you. So this is the circular number 221/15/2024 dated 26th June 2024. This mainly talks about your projects relating to highway and all those things, construction of road, maintenance of roads and those things. Okay, very simple, very, very simple. Let's try to understand. First of all, this is considered as a service, right? If this is considered as a service, then in that case we will have to go to section number 13, right? Section number 12 was talking about time of supply in case of goods, and section number 13 is talking about time of supply of services. I hope you recollect this part. Yes. So section number 13.2 was talking about normal forward charge, time of supply of services under forward charge and all those things. Let's try to understand what is this. Now this is again a clarification, no new concept added here. Yes, there is no new concept added here. Let's try to understand. Now, clarification on time of supply in respect of supply of services. Services means we know section number 13 is applicable, of construction of road and maintenance. Means the service provider is going to provide two services. One is construction of road, plus after constructing to maintain the roads also, thereof of the National Highway projects of NHAI in hybrid annuity model. Okay, now National Highway Authority of India, we know that is a government entity. Now it is going to give some contract. Okay, it is going to give some contract to a person to construct some roads and to maintain it also. Okay, now for this purpose, try to understand. Now hybrid annuity mode model of NHAI, under this model, the concessionaire means the person who got the contract has to construct the new road and provide operation and maintenance. Means his work is not only to do the construction, after doing the construction, road banane ke baad mein usko maintain bhi karna hai. Okay, of the same, which is generally over a period of 15 to 17 years, and payment of the same is spread over the years. So basically, NHAI, this person is providing the service to the NHAI, right? This concessionaire is providing the service to the NHAI, and this is two type of service. One is the construction service also, plus another one is the maintenance service also, for which NHAI is going to pay the consideration to that concessionaire. Okay, now this consideration is not going to be a one-time consideration. This is going to be paid in installments over a period of number of years. Now they are asking, what will be the time of supply? What will be the time of supply in this circumstance? Okay, so first thing that they are making us understand here is this is not only a construction service that once you construct the work is over. No, it is not only construction service. Here the concessionaire is responsible for two things. One is to construct the road first, and after that even to maintain it for some number of years. Okay, that they are trying to make us understand in the first two paragraphs. Okay, so now since the consideration is spread over installments, okay, since the consideration is spread over installments, maybe you can give the answer under continuous supply of services. Remember, we had this continuous supply of services coming up here in section number 31.5, that when should the invoice be issued in case of continuous supply of services. Okay, maybe you can give the answer. Means it appears that it should come under that. Okay, so they have given us a proper clarification. See what is the clarification here. This is the final one. It is clarified that the tax liability, that is the time of supply, on the concessionaire under the HAM contract, including the construction portion, would arise at, now it would arise as per section number 13.2. Okay, as per section number 13.2 means they are telling it will arise as per this. That is as if it is supply of service under forward charge. Okay, as if it is supply of service. Who is the service provider here? Who is the service? Can we say this concessionaire is the service provider? He is providing the service to NHAI. So he will raise the invoice on the NHAI, then NHAI will do the payment. And what was the provision? What was the provision as per section number 13.2? So if the invoice is issued on time, then the date of invoice or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. And if the invoice is issued late, then the date of provision of service or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. So that's what they have written here. If the, see here, it would arise. I will highlight it so that you can understand this. It would arise at the time of issue of invoice or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier, if the invoice is issued on or before the specified date. Okay, and if the invoice is not issued on or before the specified date or before the completion of the event specified in the contract, the tax liability would arise on the date of provision of the said service or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. Okay, now here, if you are taking it as continuous supply of services, when should the invoice be issued? Can we say whatever is the date decided? Okay, whatever, let's say they would have decided that every 6 monthly we will raise the, so whenever that milestone event is completed, at that time the invoice should be issued. So if the invoice is issued on time, then the date of invoice or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. If the invoice is not issued on time, then the date of provision of service. Okay, date of provision of service, that is whatever is the due date, final due date that you had already decided in the contract, or receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. Are you understanding this? Yes? Okay. So this is what they are trying to tell us here, that whenever there is this road construction contracts, etc., which is spread across many number of years, okay, when it is spread across many number of years, then in such a case, your this thing, what will be the, how do we determine the time of supply? So it looks like it is continuous supply of service. So as per the provisions of continuous supply of service, as per section number 31.5, as you can see it here in your textbook, as per section number 31.5, your invoice, depending upon the due dates that were written in the contract, depending upon that the invoice should be issued. And if the invoice is issued on time, as per section 13.2, find out the time of supply. If the invoice is issued late, then again as per section number 13.2, find out the time of supply. Very simple. Yes, manageable, everyone. Okay. Okay, let's start with the amendments of the next chapter, your big chapter, that is input tax credit. Yes, uh, we'll do it one by one. Okay, first come to section number 16.4. Come to section number 16, subsection 4. We will take up the amendment relating to that. 16.4 was talking about the time limit for availing the ITC. Time limit for availing the ITC. That November, 30th November, that point. Please come to that point, everyone. Yes. I hope you are there with section number 16.4 in your textbook, everyone. Yes. So in section number 16.4, what we had studied was whenever we are purchasing something subject to section number 16, 17, etc. We are allowed to avail the ITC. If all the conditions are fulfilled, we can avail the ITC, and the time limit for availing the ITC is 30th November of the next financial year, or filing the annual return, whichever is earlier. Okay, the date of filing of the relevant year's annual return, whichever is earlier. I hope you can recollect. We had certain examples, etc. also on the same. Now in that there is a circular that is added. Okay, same circular dated 26th June 2024, that is being added there. Let's try to understand what is that circular. Basically, this circular is applicable for RCM cases. Okay, reverse charge mechanism cases. Now, in RCM, I hope you can recollect. Let's say if there is an unregistered supplier. Okay, there is a person who is supplying some this thing, and that person is supplying to a registered person, and that transaction is covered under RCM. Yes, that transaction will come under reverse charge mechanism. That is, the supplier is not required. The supplier is not required to collect any GST because he is unregistered, but the registered recipient is required to pay the GST on the same. After paying the GST on the same, it can take the ITC of the same. Okay, now, but for taking the ITC, can we say invoice is required? Yes, again I will repeat, this registered recipient will pay the GST. After paying the GST, it will take the ITC on the same, and then, but whenever we are taking the ITC, we need the invoice. So here, proper tax invoice will be issued by whom to whom? Proper tax invoice. Proper tax invoice can be issued only by a registered person, right? So what will be the time limit? What will be the time limit for this registered recipient to avail the ITC? The time limit will depend upon issuing of this invoice. Okay, normally it depends on the invoice which is issued by the supplier. If everything is normal, who will issue the invoice to whom? Supplier will issue the invoice to the recipient, but this is the case of RCM. So tax invoice can be issued only by the, in this case, tax invoice can be issued only by the registered recipient to the unregistered supplier. So whenever this invoice is issued, depending upon that, section 16(4) will apply. Okay, if this invoice was issued on time, okay, if this invoice was issued on time and the tax was paid to the government on time, etc., then 16(4) will apply. That is, the year in which the invoice is issued by the recipient. Again, I'll repeat, the year in which the invoice is issued by the registered recipient, succeeding year's 30th November or the date of filing the annual return, whichever is earlier, that will be the time limit for availing the IT. Achha, what if this person issues the invoice late? What if the recipient issues the invoice late? If this is the case of RCM now, and we have already studied in time of supply chapter, as per section number 31, there is a time limit for issuing the invoice. What if the invoice is issued late? Then in that case, this recipient will be liable to pay the tax. Still, it will be liable to pay the tax, plus it will have to pay the interest also on that late payment of tax. Are you understanding? So see what are they telling us here. It is clarified that in case supplies are received from unregistered suppliers, where tax has to be paid by the recipient under reverse charge mechanism, and where invoice is to be issued by the recipient, okay, the relevant financial year for calculation of time limit of ITC will be the financial year in which the invoice has been issued by the recipient. Okay, now in section number 16(4), what did they say? What did they say? 30th November of the succeeding financial year. Which financial year? That financial year in which the invoice is issued. Okay, that financial year in which the invoice is issued. Invoice is issued by whom? In case of forward charge mechanism, it is issued by the supplier. But in case of reverse charge mechanism, it is issued by the recipient. Are you clear with this? And if the recipient issues the invoice late, then he will be required to pay the interest. Okay, plus because he is delaying the issue of invoice, he will be liable to some penal action under section 122 also. Are you understanding? So 16(4) is basically applicable. 16(4) is basically applicable to FCM also, and 16(4) is applicable to RCM also. In FCM, invoice will be issued by the supplier. Okay, and in RCM, invoice will be issued by the recipient. Are you clear with this? Yes. So that was one of the circular. That was one of the circular that is relevant for section number 16. I hope this much is manageable. Okay, one amendment done. Okay, one amendment of ITC is done pertaining to section number 16.4. Yes. Okay. Now, directly come to section number 17.5, that blocked credits. Come to section number 17.5. Yes. And in 17.5 also, come to 17.5D, the fourth point, self-construction of immovable property. You can see it on the board. I have taken the notes. I have taken out the notes. 17.5D, self-construction of immovable property. Please come to that. In fact, it can be related to 17.5C also and 17.5D also. 17.5C, the just above point, the third point in section 17.5, which was talking about works contract services for construction of immovable property. Do you recollect this? Whenever we were constructing any immovable property and if we have taken works contract service, except for the builder, developers, etc., then in that case, ITC will not be available when the expenses are capitalized in the books of accounts. Do you recollect something like that? And that was related to immovable property. And then in that we had studied the meaning of immovable property and there were certain exceptions, etc., coming up in that. Yes. And we had come up with a conclusion. I don't know if you recollect or not. In that we had come up with a term called as plant and machinery. Yes, plant and machinery was allowed as an exception. Do you recollect this? Any works contract services that we have taken for construction of plant and machinery, that was allowed as exception, and in that any apparatus, any equipment, any machinery which was affixed to the earth, okay, by foundation or structural supports, etc., that was allowed. Okay, this part was allowed, but land, building, telecommunication tower, pipeline laid outside factory premises, this was excluded. So this was blocked. Do you recollect something like this? Yes, so normal plant and machinery allowed, okay, but land, building, civil structures, telecommunication towers and pipelines which are laid outside the factory premises, these were totally blocked. This is what we had studied. So now we have got a clarification. And similarly, in the C clause, we were availing works contract services. In the D1, we are doing self-construction of that immovable property. Everything remained the same. The allowability and blocked thing, everything remained the same. Now, for these two clauses, for clause C and clause D, there was a clarification that was added. Now, here they are telling very simple clarification. They are asking, what about the ITC? What about the ITC on ducts and manholes? Okay, on ducts and manholes, which is used in network of optical fiber cables in terms of section number 17.5. Okay, now whenever the companies are providing telecommunication services, okay, whenever the companies are providing telecommunication services, and when they are laying this optical fiber cables, okay, cables, etc., when they are laying in the ground, etc., for providing you the telecommunication services, at that time they need to make some ducts and they need to make some manholes. These are basic necessity as per their business requirement. Okay, so now when ducts and manholes, okay, when these ducts and manholes are made, now the question arises. See, whenever we are making any telecommunication tower, as per these words, everyone here, whenever we are constructing any telecommunication tower, that was excluded from plant and machinery. Okay, excluded from plant and machinery means it was totally blocked. Now they are not telling that they are constructing a telecommunication tower. They are going to provide telecommunication services only. But they are making some ducts or they are making use of some ducts or manholes. Okay, if they are making use of some ducts and manuals, now they are asking what about its ITC? Okay, what about the ITC on the same? So see what are they telling us here. Moreover, ducts and manuals used in network in this optical fiber cables have not been specifically excluded from plant and machinery. Plant and machinery included everything, but except for these things, and ducts and manholes are not excluded. So can we say simple language, ducts and manholes will be considered as plant and machinery? If it will be considered as plant and machinery, then can we say ITC on the same is going to be allowed and it will not be restricted? Okay, had it been telecommunication tower, then blocked. Okay, had it been factory pipelines, the pipelines outside the factory premises, blocked. Okay, but ducts and manholes, these are not specifically excluded. So that will be considered as plant and machinery, and therefore ITC on the same is going to be. Are you clear till here? Yes, that was one of the clarification. If you see, nothing new is added. They have just done the clarification. Okay, there will be very few places where they have added something new. Okay, now let's go to the next one, everyone. Circular number 195/723, read with this new circular. Okay, do you recollect when we were doing the amendments of supply under GST? Supply under GST, there was a circular relating to free warranty, repairs and replacement. Do you recollect there was a circular relating to that? Yes. So now, relating to that circular itself, we have got certain points under input tax credit. Okay, relating to that circular, we have got certain points under input tax credit. Let's try to understand the same. Okay. Now here, everyone just try to understand. Now, when we were doing this ITC chapter, etc., do you recollect before starting the section number 17, before starting this blocked credits, we had seen that if we are doing, yes, when we started with the section number 17, at that time we studied that if a taxable person is making taxable supply and if he is making exempt supply, okay, on taxable supply he is going to pay the GST, so he will also get the ITC of the same on his purchases. Okay, but when this person is doing an exempt supply, okay, if I am doing some supply on which GST is exempted, on which GST is not applicable, etc., then whatever I have purchased, I will not get the credit of the same. Do you recollect that? Yes, this we had done in section number 70. So now here the question arises is, let's say if the original equipment manufacturer, just try to understand one case, you will able to relate it to the other cases also. Okay, let's say original equipment manufacturer has sold some goods to the customer. Okay, he has sold some goods to the customer, and along with the goods, it has also given some free warranty of 1 year on the goods. Can we say customer would have paid some amount to the original equipment manufacturer? Yes. Okay, now, let's say something happens to that goods. Okay, let's say something happens to the goods within a time period of 1 year itself. Something happens to the goods within a time period of 1 year itself. Then can we say customer will be able to get the free warranty services from the original equipment manufacturer? Free warranty services. Yes, free replacement of goods, etc. Yes. Now, for that, OEM is not charging anything from the customer because he is giving free warranty. If he is not charging, we have already studied in supply under GST chapter that it is going to be totally free of GST also, that there will be no GST applicable. Yes, why? Why? Because it was written under the contract that the OEM is going to give the free warranty. So now my question that has arisen here is, OEM has given the goods for which consideration was charged from the customer. OEM has also given free 1 year warranty, for which also there is a hidden consideration, in the goods itself, right? Now let's say if OEM has charged 45,000 rupees for that AC, means 45,000 is for the goods also and 45,000 is for the warranty also. Even if they may call it as a advertisement tactic, okay, एडवर्टीजमेंट के लिए उन लोग खाली इतना बोल सकते हैं that it is free, just for the purpose of marketing purpose. OEM will say that it is free warranty, but actually it is not free. We have paid for it, right? So this warranty which OEM is giving it to the customer for free, this is not actually free. Okay, so this cannot be called as, this cannot be considered as exempt supply. Okay, this cannot be considered as what? This can never be considered as, they try to fool you. Okay, this cannot be considered as an exempt supply. So now the next question that arises is the OEM required to reverse any ITC? Can we say the supply done by the OEM to customer is a taxable supply? It is not an exempt supply. So whatever purchases the OEM has done, or whatever inputs or whatever ITC the OEM has paid, that is not required to be reversed. Why? Because the supply which is further done, the supply which is further done by the OEM to the customer is not an exempt supply, it is a taxable supply. So no reversal of ITC is required. Okay, no reversal of ITC is required, right? Because the supply which is done by the OEM to the customer, even if it looks free, but it is not actually free, right? Similarly, when a distributor provides, okay, when a distributor provides replacement of parts to the customer, on whose behalf? On behalf of the manufacturer. So now the question arises, will the distributor be required to reverse it for the, will the distributor be required to reverse the ITC? Okay, so now here, just try to understand. What if distributor gives it to the customer for free? Okay, what if distributor gives it to the customer for free and later the distributor gets it reimbursed from the manufacturer? Then can we say anyway here there was a consideration involved? If there was a consideration involved, then there was a GST also involved. So is it an exempt supply or is it a taxable supply? It is a taxable supply. If it is a taxable supply, then question of reversal of ITC will never come into picture. Yes, that is the first case. Okay, next case. Let's say distributor gave it to the customer. Okay, this B case I am talking about. Distributor gave it to the customer for free. Okay, they say it as free, but ultimately we have charged the consideration. Okay, and then after that, manufacturer gives that part. Okay, manufacturer also gives that part to the distributor for free. Manufacturer replaces that part to the distributor for free and distributor does it for the customer. Okay, so here again they are telling, okay, even if this warranty or replacement looks like free, but whatever amount we have charged from the customer, that includes the amount for replacement. Okay, if that includes the amount for replacement, then this supply is not considered as an exempt supply. It will be considered as a taxable supply, and distributor etc. will not have to the manufacturer will not have to do any reversal. Okay, even if manufacturer is giving it to the distributor for free, he has already, at the time of initial sale, he has already charged that consideration, so he is not required to do any reversal of IT. Are you understanding this? This is the next point. Another point. Do you recollect that credit note point? Yes, where the distributor had given the goods as replacement to the customer out of the new stock of the manufacturer. In that case, manufacturer had issued the credit note. If credit note was given, then anyway the tax liability gets adjusted. Yes, because credit note is always of a particular value plus the tax amount, right? And similarly, let's say distributor does the replacement for the customer from his own stock. Okay, he does the replacement for the customer from his own stock, and then he goes and asks it from the manufacturer. Okay, and manufacturer gives it to the distributor for free, that is without charging any consideration. Then in that case anyway there was no GST applicable. But again, this cannot be considered as an exempt supply. This will be considered as a taxable supply. So in this case, again, manufacturer is not required to do any reverse. Are you understanding this? Yes. So basically, see, whenever you listen to the word called as free warranty, okay, for the purpose of paying GST, there will be no GST because the value was already included in the original goods value. Okay, let's say I have purchased this AC. Okay, let's say I have purchased this AC for 45,000 rupees and they are giving me 1 year free warranty also. Means in that 45,000, I have paid for that warranty. Okay, later when there is a free replacement, at that time again there will be no GST applicable. GST was applicable initially itself. Yes. Okay. And last, what are they trying to tell us here, everyone? Where the distributor provides repair, not replacement now. When the distributor provides repair service in addition to replacement service without any consideration, but manufacturer, distributor takes the reimbursement from the manufacturer, etc. Whether ITC is available or not, definitely ITC will be available. Now see, everyone, just try to understand. Let's say distributor provides it to whom? Distributor provides it to the customer for free. Repair it is providing it to the customer for free. Okay, and then manufacturer is reimbursing to the distributor. Then who will raise the invoice on whom? Distributor will raise the invoice on the manufacturer and manufacturer will pay for the same. So can we say manufacturer will be eligible for ITC? If manufacturer has paid to the distributor, he will pay along with GST. If he will pay along with GST, then ITC on the same will also be available. Right? So ITC, basically conclusion here is, in none of the cases, the ITC is going to be blocked. Okay? In none of the cases, ITC is going to be blocked. I hope you have understood till here. Yes? Okay. Okay, so whatever we have done till here, okay, these small amendments, whatever we have done till here, these are your amendments which are applicable for Jan 25 attempt. Okay, Jan 25 attempt and onwards. Means if you are a May 25 student also, the same amendments plus something extra will be applicable to you. But this video is specifically applicable to all the Jan 25 students. The amendments are not much. Okay, it is more of circular, but please make sure that you do it at least once, because generally you can expect one question out of the amendment. So please make sure that you do at least once. We have tried that in the minimum time. Okay, in the minimum time we have tried to cover these amendments. And yes, this PDF, okay, this PDF, merely 7 pages PDF. Okay, this PDF is available on my website arpitatulsyan.com. You can go to the free resources section and you can find the amendments. I hope the lecture was simple for you. And yes, I wish you all the very best for your examination.